First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi, bahasham, Kwadash, and the Bon Soul's Greek millstone, Wallen's Truth, and also to those elect that is scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom, and come back here today with another great, powerful lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi. And the type of day lesson is breaking news, possible East Coast, Gulf Coast strike. So I like to say Shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope to help you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi. So before we start today's lesson, I have a quick news article here by CBS News. And it reads, it said port officials brace for potential strike by dock workers along the East Coast. Right before the election, authorities are gearing up as a threatened strike by dock workers at ports along the East Coast and Gulf Coast draws closer, said the port authorities of New York and New Jersey is coordinating with partners across the supply chain to prepare for any impact from a possible work stoppage by workers represented by the International Longshoremen Association, or ILA, so as they negotiate with the United States Maritime Alliance, USMX. A port authority spokesman told CBS Money Watch on Friday. It says, we urge both sides to find common ground to keep the cargo flowing for the good of the national economy. So added the spokesman, says, noting that 240 billion in goods move through the two ports each year, and that such trade support more than 60,000 local jobs. It said, as of Monday, both sides appear far apart, said, issuing conflicting statements on their willingness to negotiate. Said, despite additional attempts by the USMX to engage with the ILA and resume bargaining, we have been unable to schedule a meeting. Said the USMX states said we want to bargain and avoid a strike, but time is running out if the ILA is unwilling to return to the table. So that's what they're saying, is that it might be a possible strike by October the 1st. So we already know that this could be major. This could be, of the what they're getting ready to try to bring forth. We already know that if these ports shut down for any short period of time, we already know what that's going to cause. It's going to cause what? Hyperinflation. It's going to cause what? Gas prices to go up, food prices, your medical supplies, pretty much everything. So, right now, this could be a major event. And one thing about it, we already knowing, right before the election, we going into October. And also these elections, I think November the 5th. So we are knowing that they'll get ready to bring forth this new society. It's happening right before our eyes. So we're going to see that the sown place is going to become unsown very soon. So the Lord is constantly breaking the staff of the bread. Your necessity, your way of life are getting ready to change. So we're seeing a disruption in a supply chain. So these things are coming. We already know that dealing with your, pretty much everything's getting shipped from these other countries. What this by design, what it's manufactured, a lot of these things that happen. I know I see that a lot, but hey, man, it's all through the spirit and the power of Yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi. So it says the current contract. Let's read this little part here. It said key deadlines looms. It said the ILA has threatened to strike if a new labor agreement with East Coast port terminals and shipping companies represented by the USMX is not reached by the time current contract expires on October the 1st. So, hey, man, these things are constantly picking up, man. Left and right, man, these things are constantly happening. So we already know now that this going to cause what? A lot of shortage. A lot of things are happening at a fast pace, man. We are here. It is at the door, man. These things are constantly lining up, man. And we seeing it, man. And one thing about it, the Lord has set up watchmen to warn you of all these impending dangers that is happening right before our eyes. It's not ploning anymore. So let's read this once again. It said, port official brace for potential strike by dock workers along the East Coast, right on schedule. You know, they're constantly bringing it forward. You know, also put out a lesson earlier. You know, man, a lot of things, man, are happening, man. A lot of things are happening right before our eyes, man. We seeing these things are picking up, man. And hey, man, we got to brace for what impact. Also, we know that this would cause, this is going to affect the economy. You know, the end of the dollar is the end of America. So we already knowing that, you know, this place is constantly drying up, constantly on the decline. So a lot of people, you know, are saying to stock up, you know, house, you know, like house good, you know, house supply, medical supply, food, water. You know what I'm saying? Survival things, herbal stuff. A lot of things are getting ready to happen, you know, because these things will be unavailable very soon. Even though this strike don't go down, we knowing that the Lord is getting ready to destroy this place. So we already knowing that, you know, this place is finished. You know, so the Lord's eyes are upon this sinful kingdom, which in fact is America, Babylon the Great. Let's get a little bit of this news clip right here.
A dock workers union and shipping companies expires at the end of this month, and labor leaders say they are closer than ever to their first strike in 50 years. Kelsey Kushner has more on how such a strike could impact Baltimore's port.
Good morning. Well, the union that represents a number of port workers across our country and many right here in Baltimore say the job is taxing, it's tolling, but it is also critical for the operations of the port. And they say they now want fair wages to reflect that hard work they're doing. A second shutdown this year is looming over the port of Baltimore.
Mark my words, we'll shut them down October 1st if we don't get the kind of wages we deserve.
In a video released to YouTube by the International Longshoremen's Association, which represents 3 local organizations operating in the Port of Baltimore, the president and vice president of ILA say a 6-year contract between the dock workers union and shipping companies expires at the end of the month. And if they don't reach an agreement on wages, they'll go on strike.
They need to get really serious about sitting down with us and making at the table and negotiating a fair and just contract.
Vice President Dennis Daggett says another major concern is automation. Back in March, a portion of the port was shut down after the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge, bringing work to a screeching halt for those whose livelihoods depends on the port and millions of dollars in lost wages. The Maryland Port Administration, which oversees the port, says officials are closely monitoring the talks, saying in a statement, "We implore both sides to come together and negotiate an agreement." And the shipping companies and dock operators who are represented under the United States Maritime Alliance are set to sit down this week to start those contract negotiations in hopes of averting a strike. On your corner in Baltimore, Kelsey Kushner, WJC.
So we're very close. You know, we seeing that. You know, we already know about that Baltimore bridge.
Homeowners, when your water or sewer line breaks.
So we already know about that Baltimore bridge incident when that shipping vessel hit the bridge. I think it was several months ago. So, you know, we seeing one calamity behind another. You know, the train derailments, this bridge getting hit. So, you know, they're affecting the infrastructure, also the supply chain line. You know, your food, your goods, your livelihood is getting ready to change. Also, we know that these jobs are constantly drying up, so we already know that this is the downfall of America. And also I did a lesson earlier about the sovereignty of America, so we already know that they're moving at a fast pace, this is, a UN takeover. Also, we know that we're coming into a new digital society. These things are fastly approaching. In the middle, Lord, we're constantly warning. We're standing on our watch, and we'll stand on fire for yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi. We cannot hardly keep up with all of it. But the Lord, hey, man, the Lord's getting ready to bring it to the close. And also, we know that family of the word is fastly approaching. You better get it while it's hot. It is high time to prophesy. So now, let's get a quick precept. Let's go here, and then we'll get another video. Let's go here. Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 17. Let's get this here. It says, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the words at my mouth and give them warning from me. So that's what we're constantly doing each and every day. And the Lord has set up watchmen. The prophets, the one that are in the highways and byways, making these video epistles. Their video epistles are going out every day. The Lord said, this gospel shall be preached, then shall the end come, Slicha. Then shall the end come. So that's reading NLT. It says, Son of man, I have appointed you as a watchman for Israel. So whenever you receive a message from me, warn people immediately. That means get on your asses, whether you will hear or whether you will forbear. We really don't give a damn. And one thing about what if some did not believe, this truth is going to be right on schedule. And one thing about the Lord's getting ready to show you, what time that we're living in. And one thing about it, we got to be circumspect. These days are growing evil and evilier. They get very evil. We've seen it, right before I got a little tongue tied. But one thing about it, man, these ports, all of a sudden, all the sovereignty of America, they telling you about this new, what is something else about, I was trying to think about that these elections is something that they putting all these distractions in place. Man, there's so much going on. So the Lord has set up watchmen. We're constantly warning you about this evil time, this pestilence, telling you about this famine is coming. It's fast approach. A lot of things are happening. Great economic collapse. These things are at the door. So now let's get one more. This is if this port strike go down. So this is gonna be a little bit more on it, a little bit more edificating. Let me see, can I pull this video up? One moment.
What happens if our seaports go on strike? The strike is set for October 1st, so you better share this with everyone. Because if our ports close, everything we depend on closes with it. Let's talk about what would happen within the month of October. On day 1, international fuel shipments are the first to feel the impact. Crude oil tankers stuck offshore means no new fuel entering refineries. By the end of the day, concerns spread across industries as gas stations, trucking companies, and airlines brace for immediate shortages. Everything from fuel to imported goods is at risk, but fuel becomes the most critical loss. By day 3, gas stations are starting to run dry and rationing begins. Prices surge as demand skyrockets. Without fuel, trucks can't deliver goods, and the first shortages show up in grocery stores. Businesses relying on imported oil like refineries scramble to maintain operations with whatever reserves they have left. The ripple effect starts to hit home. No fuel means no transportation, and without transportation, the flow of goods stop. Day 7, the energy crisis takes hold. Within the first week, the impact of fuel shortage deepens. Trucks, trains, and ships that move essential supplies across the country slow to a halt. Agriculture and manufacturing are crippled, unable to operate without fuel for machinery and transportation. Airlines begin canceling flights, and public transportation services are cut. Gas prices hit all-time highs as panic buying intensifies. By week 2, the power grid struggles and collapse looms. Power plants that rely on imported fuel start to struggle and blackouts spread as they ration what's left. People begin hoarding fuel and chaos erupts at the pumps. The stock market plummets as industries reliant on global supply chains begin to crumble. The economy falters and unemployment skyrockets as factories close and businesses shutter. By week 4, total breakdown of society. By the end of the month, the energy crisis and fuel shortages bring society to its knees. Cities erupt into fuel riots, and law enforcement is overwhelmed. With no fuel, food distribution collapses, and starvation becomes a real threat. Communities are left to fend for themselves as fuel reserves dry up completely, leaving transportation, emergency services, and the economy in ruins. Without ports, crude oil can't get in. Without crude oil, fuel can't be made. Without fuel, everything grinds to a halt. When the fuel stops, America stops. And just so we're clear, this could all happen within the month of October. AP out. What happens if our...
So we see, man, that if this possibly happened, we already know that America will become a third world country overnight. So these things are very real. And a lot of people right now still in the house of murder, still are playing games, and it's about to get real. So let's go here. Let's get two more and we'll close out. Just a quick lesson through the spirit and the power of yahawah, yahawashi. The Lord is, right now, and the Lord is making it happen. Let's go here to 2 Ezra chapter 6 and verse 22. Straight to the point. It says, 2 Ezra chapter 6 and verse 22 says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Suddenly be found empty. So we know if these ports go on strike, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, so we already know everything is going to dry up. These stores are going to dry up. These gas stations, your vehicle, we already know we are running with gasoline, so we already know that what they were saying, you would own nothing and be happy. So it's right on schedule. You were seeing this happening right before they're getting ready to bring forth this new society, total control, the NWO. We seeing it happening right before they're constantly bringing down America left and right, constantly. This place is crumbling like a cookie. Also, we know about the migrant crisis. Now this crisis, one thing behind another. So we already knowing that this devil is getting ready to strike. But when the devil strike, the Lord is getting ready to strike right back. So right now, a lot of people are going to starve to death. A lot of people are going to lose things, so everything that their family, their loved ones. A lot of people right now depend on a lot of different medication, like blood medication, diabetics medication, all that. So we already know that many shall be taken in a great number. So let's get this right quick. If this happened, if this is, we're gonna measure the time diligently. So let's read this here. It says 2 Ezra chapter 5. And 2 Ezra chapter 5, so we already knowing that this place will dry up, because we already knowing about the ports, the ports, bringing all sorts of goods and supplies, in here, and also it comes from the ports to the trucks, to your stores, to you. So we already know that that's the main vein. So if they shut that off, all hell is getting ready to break loose. In the middle of the Lord, we're constantly we're very excited. Our salvation is at the door. 2 Ezra chapter 5 and verse 5. Slicha. 2 Ezra chapter 5 and verse 1. It said, nevertheless, as the tokens or the prophecies are the signs of the time, said, behold, the days shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. So we coming upon this time very soon, a great famine in the land, a food shortage, rolling blackout, cyber attack, great economic collapse, the end of the dollar. It's the end of America. It's at a great crash in the hill. There's already so many reports. We're seeing right now these things are happening at a fast pace. And also we know about the sovereignty of America. It's saying this UN takeover. So we already know that this place has already been prophesied that Russia and China will invade America in collaboration with these sleepers. We'll constantly warning. We'll sound like a broken record. But these are the times that we're living in. Many shall be taken in a great number. A lot of people going to starve to death. Cannibalism is coming back in a big way. Desperation. So a lot of people going to line up and take that in their right hand or in their forehead. So we're very close. So now let's go here to Jeremiah. Let's go here to Jeremiah chapter. That's a quick lesson. Jeremiah chapter 50. Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 22. Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 22 said, a sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. Verse 23 said, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken. How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? So the hammer of the whole earth right now, this place is constantly crumbling. This place is constantly on the decline. It's all by design of yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi. So this place should be a golden cup in the Lord's hand, because thou hast spoiled many nations. Thou also shall be spoiled. So it's coming. This nightmare is getting ready to come to an end. One thing about the nation police going over to other people's country, setting up their puppet leaders, and also robbing, stealing, and killing, drying up people resource. Death and hell follow this man everywhere he go. But now, his time is up. And one thing about it, in 1 hour thy judgment shall come, Babylon the Great. So everyone have lived deliciously off the whore. But one thing about it, they're getting ready to be amazed for the destruction that's getting ready. It's fastly approaching. And also the war drums are beating. Verse 24 says, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord. So one thing about it, this place is getting ready to get caught up all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord, the Lord's getting ready to judge this place. And one thing about it, the Lord's getting ready to make an example out of America, Babylon the Great whore that sits on many waters. Verse 25 said, the Lord has opened up his armory and has brought forth the weapon of his indignation on IBCM missile, also that laser and chariot fire. For this is the work of the Lord power of hosts, said, in the land of the Chaldeans. Said verse 26, he said, come against her from the utmost borders, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing of her be left. So if this happens, this place is going to dry up overnight. It's going to break out into chaos, order out of chaos. And one thing about it said, open up her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing of her be left. One thing about it, it will be no inhabitant left here. When this place go down, it's going to go down in a blaze of glory. And we cannot wait, man. We are very excited. DTA above ball. We ready for this nightmare to be over. So let's go to our last and final script. Let's go here to Revelation chapter 18. Let's get a little few. We'll jump around a little bit in Revelation 18. Let's start up at verse 4. Revelation chapter 18 and verse 4. And it said, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not select, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Come out of her, spiritually. And also we hoping that we'll be a part of the hopeful elect when the Lord comes from the east to the west, and that great fathers here with great glory and great power. We cannot wait to get out of this place. Man, how long, O Lord? Verse 5, he said, for her sins has reached into heaven, and God has remembered her iniquity. So the Lord's getting ready to do what he do. Verse 6 said, to reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works, in the cup which she had filled to her double. What was done to us is getting ready to be done to them. And also, because they have spoiled many nations, and they're getting ready to be spoiled. This place will never rise again. Verse 7 said, so how much she has glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she says in her heart, I sit as a queen, and I'm no widow, and shall see no sorrow. That's the most proud, you already know who is the most proud. Esau, Edom, the devil that the Bible speaks of, and the Lord getting ready to bring him mighty low. He think that he is a God, but he's just a mere man. And the Lord's getting ready to take him down. We cannot wait. Verse 8. That's why we're seeing all these things that constantly happen like a domino effect. Verse 8, he said, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord God, yahawah, bahasham, who judges her. And that fire is going into those IBCM missiles, and also that laser and chariot fire. Things can go nuclear at any given time. So we already knowing that it's going to happen on a normal day, and all hell is going to break loose. It's nothing going back to saying we're living in the end time, real time, whether you were here or whether you will for bad. One moment, let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I figured that was going to happen all the time when I do a lesson. Bam, someone called right on schedule. But let's go here. Let's keep going. It says here, verse 9 says, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. So, a lot of people right now, have been merchants, have grown very rich, all the delicacy, all the influence and things that America had over the entire earth. A lot of people have drunk of the wine, you know what I'm saying? But we seeing that now it's coming to a close. This place is finished. The Lord's drying this place up left and right, so all the one that was at peace with peace with America, now they have deceived America. This BRIC nation. Also, we are at some point we knowing that NATO is going to turn, so they shall burn the whore. So a lot of people right now, has been like, it's a lot of, I think, more imports than export. I don't think America exporting. If they're exporting anything, it's very few. But we know that everything is coming to America. But this place is getting ready to be totally destroyed. So a lot of people, they're going to be well of because they know they're not going to even make that type of money anymore. They're not going to grow fat, off the delicacy of the whore. Everyone has been influenced by the whore, but it is all getting ready to be over very soon. Verse 10 says, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, at last, that great city, Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. So what would destroy this place in 1 hour? Those IBCM missiles, that's Satan too. I can't think of the other ones. There's a lot of them, that Russia have. And, we already knowing that the war drums are beating. We're seeing that these nations are constantly preparing for war. And it's already talks here right here in America that, that the economy is constantly plunging. And also is, it's saying about civil unrest. A lot of things happen. It's digital society, man. Things are happening one day.